Welcome to Who Smarted. We're trying to reach as many families as we can with our free podcast and curriculum. And really, nothing is more helpful than you telling people you know to check us out. So please do. And if you can, leave us a great review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're not already signed up to our email list, sign up today at www.whosmarted.com and get your free curriculum and home activity guide for every single episode. Shout out to Smarty Pants Jenny and Jeff, and thanks for sending us your awesome dreams drawings. Like, follow, and comment on Facebook at facebook.com/whosmarted, and you might get your own shout out. Now it's time to sing and shout as you learn about opera.
Me, 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 me.
Again.
Me, 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 me.
Again.
Me, 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 me.
Stop!
Again?
Young lady, I have a question. Why do you want to sing?
Oh, that's easy. To become famous.
No, basta, basta! Opera is not about fame. Opera is about passione, truth, beauty, love. Fame is... Toi!
Gross.
Mi scusi. When you sing, Bella, where does it come from?
My mouth?
No.
My throat?
No.
My brain?
No. To truly sing opera, it cannot come from the head or the mouth or the brain. Maybe a little brain. But it must come from the heart. And the guts.
The guts?
The guts!
Gross. But I don't understand.
Here, I show you. Stand back. This will get loud.
Whoa, that was amazing.
That was a guts.
Excuse me.
Yes? Are you my next student?
Not exactly. But I am curious about opera.
Salute.
Bless you. I was wondering if you could help answer a few questions.
Such as?
Why are operas written in crazy languages? And can you really break a wine glass just by singing a high note?
No! That is, how you say, urban legend.
Ah, but what about the other stuff?
That I can help you with.
Great. You can tell me right after we play the theme music.
Theme music? We have music right here. Again.
Yes, maestra. Me, 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 me.
Thanks, but I've got this. It's time for another whiff of science on...
Who smarted? Who's smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who Smarted.
Psst. Hey, kid, quick question. What do you think of when you hear the word opera?
Long.
Loud.
Boring.
And usually in some language you don't understand, right?
Uh-huh.
Something like this? Sheesh, is this even singing?
I don't know.
Sounds more like she's screaming.
I beg your pardon, sir, but she is screaming. Opera, as one would have it, is actually more controlled screaming than singing. In fact, that's why people respond to it so strongly. The high notes imitate the sound of a human cry or a baby. That is all.
I stand corrected. Now, I want everyone listening to close your eyes and think. What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear the word opera? Got an image? Let's see if I can guess. Is it a large lady wearing a helmet with horns on it?
Exactly.
So if that's what you were thinking, where did you get that idea? Was it from A, your parents,
It's time for bed.
B, your friends, or C, cartoons? Got your answer? If you said cartoons, you're like most people. A lot of cartoons from Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry and the Pink Panther, all the way up to SpongeBob and The Simpsons have all used opera and classical music as a source of sight gags and punchlines. So most kids grow up thinking of opera as something stuffy and boring to be made fun of.
Yeah.
Boring!
But what if, and I'm just spitballing here,
Ew.
what if we dig a little deeper to learn more about opera? Is there a chance you could maybe think of opera as cool? In fact, what if I told you one very famous opera by Mozart was an influence on George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars? That's right, Star Wars! To find out more, stick around. And now, back to Who Smarted. Here, take a listen. Sounds interesting, but I have no idea what's going on. If only there was someone who could decode opera for us to make it easier to understand.
Did someone say they can't understand opera?
Oh, it's you again. Who are you again?
I am the world's biggest fan of opera, as well as the president of the Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart fan club.
Mozart, huh? The famous composer.
That's right. He wrote 22 operas, including the one you're listening to, The Magic Flute.
The Magic Flute, huh? What's it about?
It's a fairy tale of darkness and light, and finding your way in the world.
Oh, I figured it was about a magical flute.
There's that, too. Keep in mind, there weren't a lot of choices for entertainment in the 1780s and 90s, way before Netflix and podcasts. They had come up with some pretty wild stories to keep people from getting bored.
Gotcha. But how am I supposed to follow the story if it's in a different language?
Easy. Everyone who sees the opera gets a program. Here.
Program. Oh, like a playbill or your 5th grade winter holiday concert.
Exactly. Unlike modern movies and TV shows where spoilers are a bad thing, opera composers want you to know exactly what's going on at all times, even ahead of time, so you can focus on the music, not the story.
Once upon a time, there was a magic flute.
So, whenever you see an opera, you get a program with a full synopsis of the story, so you're never lost.
That does make things easier. Of course, they could just make operas in English.
Well, there are, but the original classics were written in the composer's native tongues. There's Italian,
Italiano, bravissimo.
French,
Le français est supérieur.
or German, like the great Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Lange liebe Deutschland.
Why those 3 languages?
Because that's where the first opera composers were from. And they were first performed in the composer's home country, so audiences would all understand the words perfectly.
Gotcha. So the Magic Flute is performed in German. I didn't get a program. What's it about?
Let me help you. First, you should know that the woman singing is the queen of the night. She rules all the dark evil forces in the world.
Kinda sounds like Darth Vader.
Exactly. And the queen's power is being threatened by a fancy priest responsible for carrying on the legacy of the dead Sun King, who used to rule the light and good in the world.
Hey, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep. In this song, or aria, the queen is very angry. She hands a dagger to her daughter and orders her to kill the priest, so the queen can rule the night and the day. She even says to her, "If you don't kill my enemy, then you are no longer my daughter."
Yikes. That's one tough mama.
This opera is about good versus evil, light against dark.
Just like the dark side and the Galactic Empire are trying to defeat the Rebel Alliance and the Force in Star Wars.
Yes, in fact, Star Wars is often thought of as a space opera.
Whoa, amazing. What about you guys at home?
Huh?
Now that you know what's going on, listen closely and see if you can make more sense of it.
That's the beauty of opera. Sure, it might be in a language you don't know, and it may seem boring at first, but once you understand what's going on, the stories are full of drama and comedy, life and death, good versus evil.
Sounds like basically they were the Marvel movies of their day.
Not only that, Operas were also the popular music of the time. It's all anyone had to listen to, so people would come to see shows over and over, humming the tunes as they left the concert hall.
Sounds more like Bruno Mars, Ariana Grande, or Lizzo.
Oh yes, I love Lizzo.
Really?
Everybody loves Lizzo.
Oh, by the way, I have a question for you. Why are opera singers so, big-boned?
People ask that question a lot. It makes sense. Big bodies mean big voices, but it's not always the case. Great opera singers come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big, like the great Luciano Pavarotti. Some are thin and small, like Maria Callas.
Ah, so you don't need to be, big to sing opera?
Nope, you just need good technique, a great teacher, and very, very, very big lungs. It takes a lot of breath to sing opera.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mr. Opera.
Anytime. Happy listening.
Okay, Smarty Pants.
Huh?
Now that you know a lot more about opera, I got one more question for you. What is the dress code to go see opera? What does the audience need to wear? Is it A, fancy clothes like tuxedos and ball gowns?
Fancy.
B, business clothes like suits, dress pants, and skirts?
Oh, I'm late to my Zoom meeting.
Or C, whatever you'd be comfortable wearing to a chain restaurant?
Sweatpants are so comfortable.
Got your answer? If you said A, tuxedos and ball gowns, you're thinking of those cartoons again. So it must be B, suits and business clothes. Nope, it's actually C. While people used to wear fancy tuxedos and gowns to the opera back in the day, that's all changed.
Whoa.
Nowadays, opera is meant to be fun and approachable. So you'll see people wearing everything from suits to jeans, skirts, shorts, skirts, you name it. But please, no flip-flops. This isn't the beach.
Bummer.
Now that you know a little more about the opera, maybe you'll find you actually like it, even if you don't quite understand everything they're saying. I guess it's true what they say. It ain't over till somebody sings. Thanks for listening to Who Smarted. Please tell your friends and family to tune in. New episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's episode, Opera, was written by Jason Williams and voiced by Charlotte Cohn, Imogen Williams, Adam Davis, Chia Davis, Ezra and Sydney Blumenfeld, Jason Williams, Brandon Bayless, and yours truly, Jerry Colbert. Technical direction and sound design by Josh Hahn. Who Smarted was recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studio. Theme song by Brian Suarez. Lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This has been an Atomic Entertainment production.
Who Smarted?